Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case, looking at the latest news, discussions and findings on the matter. Today we're focusing in finally on the mystery supposed party goer. And I say supposed because that's what people have been hinting at over time in regards to a cowboy looking guy who looks of a older age, maybe mid-late 20s, who was around Avery or Carter, which appeared to be the setting when you look at the background of the party which Noah attended. That's what I want to look at today. I'm going to show you the photo. I'm going to show you some additional footage too. Is it definitely confirmed to be from the party? No, but that's what we're trying to work out. But the identity of the individual has supposedly been revealed, the name of the person, and that is available on the Facebook page of the Noah Presgrove Army. But the last time I checked, which was a day or two ago, there was a bit of conflict and disagreement with other people. Whether that resistance is from those within the case or speaking on behalf of someone, we'll see. I'm going to get to that later, so don't go anywhere. But it's important, first of all, to provide a backstory behind it, how I came across it, my thoughts about it, and then share it directly with you, the footage, and how to come across it, okay? So, welcome to those who are currently here in this live premiere. Share your thoughts, opinions, reactions in the live chat box on the right-hand side of the screen. If you're watching on catch-up or you got any additional comments you want to elaborate on any points, questions, leave them down below in the comment section under this video, and I will respond back to them. Also down below, pinned comment by me with additional links if you do want to support this channel. If you are interested in the case and want to catch up on my recent coverage, the video that I did last night, some very important points, for example, mentioned by Justin Roy and Alicia Lee, the mother to Caden Pressey, speaking out publicly on my channel in the comment section. Top right corner of the screen where the I symbol is, if you click on that, you'll be able to find my videos right there. So I think without all being said and done, we just get straight into it, okay? The backstory first of all. How did I come across it? I came across it in the past on Facebook. It kept coming up and up over and over again, but not like with a great wave of intensity. It was just subtle waves here where people kept saying how, who's this individual riding Avery Combs? You might wonder, riding? What are you talking about? It'll make more sense in a second. But it was a photo or a screenshot which was actually from Avery Combs' TikTok page. But when coming across it, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. It was hard to find because no username was provided on Facebook. In the screenshot, it was cut out. I don't know if that was done intentionally or not, but you just couldn't see it. It might have come up on Reddit as well, but at the time, you know, where the Reddit is like, or how people envision Reddit being by censoring names and stuff, it was impossible to come across. I typed in the person's name on TikTok, couldn't find it, right? And then just recently, it came up again in discussions. Same profile picture, not profile picture, same photo discussion, different side profile with the username below. Not covered, all there, public. So, the username of Avery Combs' TikTok page. If you wonder why I'm talking slow, it's because there's so many names I don't want to get mixed up, okay? Avery Combs' TikTok, which appears to be an old account because it's not been updated since, and their bio states that they're 21 years old, and obviously they're not now. They're 22, approaching 23. So because of that, because it's inactive and it's outdated, how relevant is it to the actual party, right? Maybe sometime with Facebook, videos or photos have been posted here and there, but how relevant is it to the case? Sometimes people can just fetch all kinds of stuff and just throw it into the mix and just assume or label it as relevant. It's of this year, it's of last year, it's of the same month, but is it of the same location? These are the questions that need to be asked, and some things have been debunked along the way. It's important to do so. Can I debunk things today? we'll see how it goes. But the TikTok name of Avery, the old account, is at SoccerDad08, I believe. SoccerDad08. I don't know why you would call yourself a soccer dad when you're a female and you're not even a father. I don't know, unless it's honouring or in the name of their father who is a soccer dad or something. I don't know. It's just a bit random. But you go on the TikTok page and it's, I guess, as you would expect. Now, coming across it, the video, the photo, it's not that easy. It's actually a part of one of the later ones, because the earlier ones are like 2022, right? Outdated. Then there's one, 2023, and I believe it was posted in August. Was it August? Or is it beyond? It would have had to have been beyond. Yeah. Maybe there was one in August. But at least the one that I came across, it was like a slideshow, but mixture of different videos. Now, I can show you some of that right now, so you get the idea of where it crops up. The weird situation of the cowboy guy in the nighttime footage, but there's some familiar faces as well that you'll see in other moments. Now, I don't know if there'll be music or not, but I'll have to mute the original because of, copyright and all that BS. Can't trust it. We're not going to go directly on the TikTok page though, just being reasonable, because it could give people ammunition. They could twist it in a different way, could get messy. But also, TikTok doesn't allow you to mute the music and shit like that, so it just could be playing over and over again in the background. We saw what it was like last time with that door opening and closing and the kissing as well. No, we're not repeating that again. TikTok is shit, okay? Platform is shit. Layout, shit. Reach, shit. Just like YouTube in a way. Pathetic. But nevertheless, I'll just show you a small little scene of it, because there's other portions where, I don't know, maybe a bit inappropriate to YouTube also. I mean, when you take in mind the body language, the behaviour, how one presents themselves, I guess it's to be expected of people nowadays, like how people are. But that aside, you get the idea. Let's just look at the reasonable footage, the possible linkable footage to this party and what people are getting at. So you saw the footage there. There is a bit more to it, but I only selected what was relevant and what could apply to the party based off the scenery, what was in the background, time of day. You saw it was nighttime in some of the footage at least. So I just thought I would use that and apply it in today's discussion, so you see it firsthand for yourself. Then we can look at the meat of it, the talk, the deep discussions by people who would have been more aware of this for a longer period of time, and see what it's all about. But you would have saw that quick glimpse of the guy who was on the larger side, looking a bit like a cowboy, which could imply, were they a Texas boy from that party? Who knows? Because when it comes to the identity of certain ones from the party, 30 to 40 people there, how many of the 40 people have been named and identified publicly? Maybe 12 people or so we've heard of. But what about the remainder? How come they've not been mentioned or acknowledged? Especially if you've got others of a similar age to Avery Combs or so, 20 plus, 22 plus, if the friends are friends. It's not like you've got to protect them the same way as you would with a 15, 16-year-old. That's more understandable, isn't it? So it just makes it harder for everyone when trying to learn about the case and work out who is who, what's what, and where were they at points in time. So when you got that little memory collection video, which is almost like a flashback to all kinds of events which happened in the past, how relevant to it? How relevant is it to the party, right? Just want to work out. But as for that guy who was on top of Avery, is that a normal thing people do? It was just messing about. It's not that deep, but it's the person, the identity of the individual that's in question. But just to give an example and demonstration, if you didn't quite see the footage and just the reasoning behind it as to why it's normal, because There might be some people that are critical and say it looks a bit inappropriate, looks a bit suspicious. Oh, is that Caleb Newton? Oh, riding Avery, does that imply something dodgy? You know where I'm getting at there, okay? So just to shed a bit of light, I've got a horse, okay? The horse is there. Now, you might be wondering, what's this supposed to mean? Avery is the horse's mouth? Not quite. But it's like a symbolism to explain what was actually going on in that footage, okay? You got Avery, but then from a different angle, it looks like it could be Carter as well. What I do want to mention is, in that footage, there's a moment where it's like face on, and it definitely is Avery. And in terms of what she's wearing, that pinkish top, that looks the same colour, the same one that was worn on one of the days of the party, probably Sunday night. Few references and links there. You saw it was dark as well. Don't worry, I will do a still screenshot of all the other bits and bobs what we saw before, and I can talk it through bit by bit, but let's just do this demonstration now, get out the way. If anyone is joining late, early, whenever, this is supposed to be like a serious demonstration, reconstruction, just to make sense of everything, okay? Like what's been done in the past. I'm using what's available, okay? I don't have another person to get on top of and ride, okay? So that's the next best thing, a horse. Because the act of what they were doing is kind of like that, right? Rodeo. That's what it was mainly. Light-hearted, but rodeo, messing about. Unless there's an undertone, a dodgy one, I don't know. That's not like how it came across to me. So just imagine I'm that cowboy individual, the cowboy. Got the hat, get on the horse. Okay, calm down. Whoa, calm down. So he's got a cowboy hat on. Does that mean that they're from Texas? So they could be from Texas. And that's obviously important because there are Texas individuals who were at that party. So you've got to take that into consideration. Now, the person did have a ginger beard, maybe ginger hair. Does Caleb Newton have that? Not really. I think it's more lightish brown, but some people could argue and contest it. So you've got a ginger cowboy looking individual that could be from Texas in the setting of it being nighttime outside the ground, the area, the property. Could it be the party house property? You don't know, maybe. So I'm the cowboy guy. You know, like when you got rodeo like that. Normally you do it like a bull riding competition. You would climb onto it, get on top, and hold on for as long as you can, right? That's what normally happens. Is that what was happening in that footage? Maybe. He wasn't on her that long, okay? It didn't show him getting on top or climbing onto her. It just showed him on her back. And, you know, obviously, Avery, the height she is, build, would you be able to withhold and support the weight of someone much bigger and heavier on top of your back? No, you probably end up breaking your own back. And you saw how he was ejected off as he fell off like that. So you got the cowboy guy on top of Avery Combs. Yes, to make sure I'm getting the names correct. And he's just basically on the back with his arms on the side like that. But there wasn't much more going on. But there was that scene afterwards from the side profile, which appeared to possibly be Carter Combs because of the different coloured outfit. And the person looked different as well. I mean, I don't know how different Carter and Avery look from one another, because maybe from certain angles they could look similar. Obviously, because sisters sometimes similar characteristics, right? But I don't know, maybe the ginger cowboy guy had a go with both of the girls by riding them, getting on top, holding on. But what other activities took place? Who knows? Now, does anyone interpret it in a dodgy way? Is that a symbolism to what may have happened at the party? Literally riding someone, okay? Talk about, suppose, a rumour, an individual walking in at the party of someone doing some dodgy activities, right? What we saw in that footage, was that a link? Well, it depends even if the footage links to the party at the time and the person within it. It's not 100% confirmed. But yeah, so this would be considered rodeo or riding a horse, riding a person. It could also just be a piggyback. Let's not forget that. Give someone a piggyback ride. So there's that. And then, so what would it be called? Rodeo, cowboy, cowgirl, cowboy, whatever, hold on. And then other people would be saying, well, what about this one then? What's that one? I don't know. Some people say reverse cowboy, reverse cowgirl. What are you supposed to hold on to? I don't know. But I just thought, whoa. I'll just keep that on for now because of the bad hair day. I just thought I'd do a little demonstration because the actual act of what happened in that footage, I wouldn't say it's a big deal, right? But how other people interpret it, they might think, oh, that's inappropriate. Oh, that links to a much older looking guy interacting with Avery. Oh, well, that must mean inappropriate activity going on at the party. You know how do you all link it together from one thing to another? Do we know it for certain? Not really. But before we go off the deep end, let's just revert back to the footage, what we've seen, the photos or screenshots what I've got, and we look at them just a little bit closer, just to acknowledge who's within that footage and does it link to the party or not, okay? So here's one of the first screenshots from the footage, which you probably didn't see from that little video highlight, but as I said, it was just because of keeping it up to standards with YouTube and everything and whatnot. But why is this so significant? Well, it just raises the questions of what setting was this taken? Clearly, there are people behind in the background visibly present, so it implies some kind of get-together, hangover, or not hangover, sleepover, party. Could it be the party? You look inside of that building, kitchen, near to the kitchen dining area. From this angle and perspective, when I think about it, yeah, this is actually probably from the party itself, because what stands out to me now, because I've only just noticed it, on the left-hand side, there's the Christmas tree. This is a different angle and perspective. Wow, this is actually really interesting because stuff like this wasn't exactly presented publicly and it wasn't made clear previously, but that's what I'm doing here. So just remember, you remember Caden Pressey in the living room area as he was sat down in the chair with his pink knee brace and he was pointing the camera towards the kitchen area, and he did that because his cousin was there and he wanted to record her just to prove to Alicia Lee or whoever else in the family that the cousin is here at the party, she's safe, she's okay, it's all good, right? You remember that? And I said in that footage, why did I have a Christmas tree in the background? What's the whole point of that? Well, you see the Christmas tree there, it's the same exact one, which basically means that this footage is probably, or very likely to be from the party, because I think you can see some bottles on the side of the countertop, a couple of guys behind. As for their identities, I could give a guess as to who I think it is. As to who's currently in front, they've got like a cowboy hat. Is that the guy's cowboy hat, or more so the cowboy hat that Avery was wearing when writing on Noah's body and bottom area on the Saturday? Very interesting. So what do I confirm from this footage? That this footage and perspective is from the party house, and that there is a fair chance that this is from the party which Noah attended as well, based off the Christmas tree, and based off the range of humans present. Now, as for everyone in view, middle of the screen, up close, that is Carter Combs, the sister to Avery. Carter Combs was swinging a cowboy hat about whilst making eye contact with the person in front of her. The person in front of her, I don't know who they are. I couldn't quite identify. This is cropped, okay, and for good reason, because the person in front of Carter is bent over and obviously shaking, okay? It's just one of those things, and I don't know if YouTube approves of that, and I don't know if people would use it as ammunition and say, why are you looking at that? I'm not looking at that, I'm looking at the whole photo and environment, that this is relevant to the party house and possibly the party which Noah attended. You know, it's all about looking at it from different perspectives and viewpoints. We've seen all the party footage of Noah, but what about the other people? What about the other angles, the other rooms? They don't get acknowledged the same way, do they? So this is very promising, I would say. You got Carter Combs there, then to the right, bent over, not too sure who they are. Could it be Logan? Could it be Stephanie Milan? Could it be Jasmine Milan? Could be one of those individuals, at least all the named females I could think of. It wasn't Shandy because this person had black hair. So it could possibly be Jasmine or Stephanie or Logan. You can guess if you want down below. But in the background, you see a couple of guys, one of which topless with an orange cap hat on, which could possibly be either Jack Newton or Noah Presgrove. And I would probably say it's Jack Newton. And then behind Jack, can I zoom in if it will let me? Oh God, it won't. Let me try again. Behind her, that's what I'm talking about, the orange hat. Jack Newton, I think. And then behind him, with another cap on, with dark hair, looks a bit bushy as well. That could possibly be Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton? Fuck me. I'm thinking of that inventor. Isaac Rojas. Jesus Christ. You say Jack you say Jack Newton and I said Isaac Newton. Oh boy. Has an apple fallen on my head or something? I think it has. Now, let me just go over that again. Jack Newton, possibly in the orange hat. Isaac Rojas in the background. That's my guess. Okay? You can let me know what you think. There is another person to the right of them, but he's behind that like wooden board block. So I don't know who they are. But Noah should be somewhere, and possibly back there. But just zoom in one more time. Behind them, but a bit more to the right, further back, would be where, I guess, who was it now? Just remembering all the names. Caden Pressey would have been sat at when recording, pointing towards here. So we're seeing it from a different angle, which is interesting. Moving on, it's a bit more identifiable, this. You got Jack Newton on the left, of course. In the middle, Carter Combs, the girlfriend at the time. And then on the right, Avery Combs, the sister. You know, very harmless. Is this directly from the party? Hard to tell because it's just a blank background. It could be, or it might not be. This could be another time when they were just simply hanging out. Is it from the party house? Maybe, maybe not. As said, okay, it was a compilation video of different clips, but not everything was from the party or the party house. It might have been, you know, lots of things bunched together. Some stuff from the party and other stuff's from earlier on, months before or afterwards, right? I just thought I'll give a disclaimer there. But if that's in a bedroom, Carter Combs, Jack there, it makes sense if they're together. The only thing that stood out to me, and I don't know if it's of interest to anyone else, but, you know, like, if this was relevant to the party footage somehow, and like I were talking not long ago about any injuries to anyone present besides Noah and the grazed knuckle, the only thing I picked up on, I don't know if anyone else did, Carter Combs has a black eye, or kind of a black eye. What caused it? Who knows? From the party? Maybe, maybe not. Could be much older footage in the past, who knows? But it's just an observation, that's basically it, right? So nothing really odd to see here, but it was just like an example Then we move on to that one, as I was telling you about, kind of like cowboy, cow riding, rodeo, messing about. Obviously, Avery is laughing. The guy on top is pretty much shitting himself because he's like, oh, hell no. He looks terrified. I mean, that's more so because he's about to fall off backwards, and you do see him disappear off camera very quick. It is kind of funny, but, you know, in seriousness, you know, is this similar to what we've seen with that? You know, that is from the party house and probably the party footage. Then is this as well, but outside of the party house? Might be. In the background, it just fades off into pure darkness. Sunday night, possibly early hours of Monday morning, round the back of the house or on the front near to the porch, but facing away from the buildings because you can't see anything. Can't see any lights either. Why is it so red though? It's probably like a filter that was used, okay? But still, it's kind of interesting because it could well be from the party. And considering the party had a variety of different age ranges, but also alcohol too, and some underage people, you got a guy like that who appears to be of much older age. Is the party a little bit dodgy? Does anyone think that way? And just the mystery of these other party guests and friends. Who were they? Why can't their names be mentioned? Why can't it be cleared up? That's what we're trying to do today in regards to that guy on top of Avery, right? Some people could say it's Caleb. Me personally, I don't think it's Caleb Newton, and it will make more sense later on, so don't go anywhere. Moving on. This was just like another one. I've rotated the screen because it was upside down. This appears to be the kitchen area, which could well be at the party house once again. On the left, you've got Avery or Carter. Then on the right, whoever else, drinking from a can. When I first saw it, I thought, were they snorting something? But they're not. Drinking from a can, but I think they call it shotgunning, where you put a hole in the side and then drink it fast that way. What type of drink is it? Alcohol or not? Who knows? But, you know, if it's from the party, interesting. It's just a different perspective, a different angle with different people instead of it all about Noah, right? It's just good to see it as a full picture. And then we move on to this one. You got a table down below with cups on it, beer pong, as they would call it in America. That actually links on. It reminds me of Caden Pressey's reference that Monday morning, the 4th of September 2023, at 2:43 in the morning, when Caden was awoken by his phone because of his mom calling regarding the cousin being at the party, but later along the highway. Caden said that when he was woken up around that time, he saw the likes of Jasmine Millan, Noah Presgrove, Jack Newton, all awake and around the beer pong table. Well, it just so happens that there is a beer pong table there. It also just so happens that there's a handful of people present too, which implies a party. Is this point of view and perspective from the party house itself? There's a fair chance. But why would there be ladders there? Where is that from, the perspective? Some people were highlighting and suggesting that it's from the point of view of the barn or shed area, because that does appear to be taller, so there could be a second story. There could be a second floor to the building or the property. But in my opinion, I'd argue and say it's kind of hard to tell, in fairness. The layout of it is a bit odd because you got a table, but then you've got chairs lined up kind of on both sides of the room. It looks more like a bloody ritual or gathering. As for the handful of people in that one room from this angle, it's very limited. There's only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 5 people. If this was the party house and you've got only 5 people there, where are the other 40 individuals? Just like how when you go to this one here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6, the one behind the camera, 6 people out of 40 people at the party. Seems underwhelming. Now, yeah, they could be outside, they could be in a different room, but we can't see it, can we? But we see the recurring faces and individuals, with the odd exception of someone in the background who you can't quite identify. But nevertheless, this person is higher up, looking down. In terms of the party house building itself, it was quite a small building. It doesn't appear to have a second floor. So I'm guessing the bathroom would be on the ground floor. And for some reason, I don't know why I didn't word it like that in my previous videos. I guess it's just because when I think of a building or house, I always think of it having 2 floors. But as for this perspective, you could argue and say, yes, it's only got 1 floor, ground floor, but as for the roof area, what you see on the outside, they've got a loft, they've got an attic where you can store stuff up there. Is that where this person is? In the attic area, where the ladder is up to it, and he's looking down. And why am I saying he? Well, I'm just assuming it's a he, because when you look at the legs, right? When you look at the legs, they do look a bit hairy. Unless someone's not been shaving down there. No, it's just an observation, okay? So they've got the legs dangling down the ladder, which could be to, well, it would probably likely be to the loft or attic, because well, you tend to use a ladder, whether it's a folding ladder or you've got to put one in place to climb up to get into the attic. Right? If you simply had a second floor, you're going to have a spiral or you're going to have a staircase, a standard one, to get up to the next floor. You're not going to have ladders, are you? So I think that pretty much confirms that, which could imply that because there's no second floor in this building, it's likely of the party house. And because you got the beer, get off, it pisses me off when it does that, you little bastard. When you got the beer pong table back there with all the cups on it, which, you know, it looks like it's already been underway, or maybe it's finished because the cups look empty, they've been moved about and so moved aside. Maybe this happened earlier on the actual activity, but this was taken later, maybe a Sunday night or so. Caden Pressey, as he said, when he woke up Monday morning 2:43, awoken by the phone call, he saw Jasmine Milan, Noah Presgrove, Jack around the beer pong table, which could well be this. Possibility, that's all I'm saying. Now, what about the people around, okay? I don't know who that person's leg or foot is. Could be a male based off the hairiness of it. Could be wrong. But then who are these 2 females on the ground floor? Both got black hair. I don't know who they are. Is it Jasmine Milan? Doesn't seem to be. Is one of them Carter Combs? Possibly. Stephanie Milan. Who else is there? Logan. Could be some of those people. Who knows? If you can identify them, feel free to do so. And then back there, you got a guy on the right who appears to look quite old. They've got a cap on. May have glasses or not. They've got a bit of a beard or so. They do look a bit older. A bit out of shape as well. That's just observations, that's all. Is that a young individual? Doesn't seem to be. They appear to be in their, I'd say, 40s. They look like a 40-year-old, unless they're in the 30s or late 20s, a friend of Avery. Who knows? Texas boy, Texas individual. Who knows? Just throwing it out there. But then, on the left, sat down, bent, leaning over, where the face isn't viewable. Dark hair, male, female, who knows? Maybe looking at their phone or something. Who do you think that is? Who could that possibly be? Just a bit random, really, this footage. But the other thing that stands out to me, besides these chairs being lined up like some kind of satanic ritual, behind that, there appears to be another ladder. Can you see it? Next to that door, there is another ladder, similar to what this person is sat on when looking down. Why do you need 2 ladders on 2 different sides of the room? That's weird. What's going on there? It's kind of a weird layout in a way. And as for just there on the right where that guy is that supposed to be the front door or something? I know there's a curtain going across, but it looks like the outline of a door possibly. Is that the front porch area to the house where Jasmine was stood on the outside of it doing that selfie at 3:41? Me personally, I wouldn't say this is from inside of the barn or shed. I'd argue and say this is inside of the party house. If we're able to see what was on the left-hand side, it might have made things a lot more clearer to identify. But it appears to be different rooms, just like that back one. When I think about it, that back room there is a purple light emitting from the room, glowing. It just so happens that in one of Avery Combs' TikTok videos, she appears to be in her bedroom or so, and there is like a pink glowing light because there are lights on her wall dangling about. So that could well be Avery's bedroom just there. Who knows? Okay. Thought I'd just throw that in, right? So, very interesting. And then is this the final one? Yeah, so this doesn't appear to be Avery, right? Avery is noticeable there, clearly. That's Avery Combs. And then there's that ginger cowboy. We go to this one, different clothing, different attire, different face. This is Carter Combs from the looks of it. And you can see the side profile of the ginger cowboy, if I zoom in, not the clearest. That does not look like Caleb Newton. As for the background, it's a bit brighter, so you can see the ground in the back. This could well be at the party house property, because with that light glowing in the background, that could be the same coloured light what you see at the building at the party house, and if not that big street lamp what they've got near to the barn or shed. So very interesting, of course. I guess it's just interesting that you got this guy who looks of an older age handling females and riding them like a cowboy or so. At the time, Avery was 22, so it was all above board. Carter Combs, I'm guessing, 19, 20 or something, so above board. But, if you've got other people there who are younger, 15, 16, did he try anything with them? And when I say try, I mean, did he ride him like a cowboy, rodeo, messing about, heavy-handed or what? That's all. Okay? I'm being very specific with language and wording. What do people emit from this, the presence of it? Do you think it's neutral, harmless, from the party itself, more to it? Me, personally, I think it could possibly be from the party. It's just interesting because it's a different perspective of what we've not seen before, or it's not really come into focus much beforehand. But as for that guy, it's not like a witch hunt against that one guy, because what about all the other unknown party goers? But if you can, work on it bit by bit and try and make sense of who is who, it's a start. And that's what we can do on Facebook right now. Here we are, found it by Nat. Credit to them for this post and this comment, and also credit to, is it Dusty? It must be Dusty somewhere. We'll find it in the comment section shortly. Yeah, this was one day ago, talking about the red-bearded guy or ginger guy riding Avery Comb on the back like a cowboy or a rodeo. Who can provide the best close-up of an unblurry picture of the guy? Trying to figure out who he really is, how significant is he, does he link to the party? It's fully understandable, when you're trying to question it. Let's do all comments. There's probably a lot. Oh boy, 120. Well, we'll see what we can do. There we go. Credit to Dusty. Now, technically, we've already seen it from my analysis earlier on, but that's just the other perspective, okay? So you can see TikTok SoccerDad08. That's the username of Avery Combs' TikTok page. But if you were to look at it, or, I don't know, take a look, do it within reason, okay, in an appropriate nature, right? So, that's a side view. A guy on the larger side, dressing like a cowboy, bit of a beard. Who is he? What are the responses? And that's what we're going to do right now. There's a lot of them, aren't there? Damn it. Click on each one. Right, Larry says, looks like Caleb Newton. I mean, colour-wise, as for the facial hair, maybe, but Caleb's definitely got more of a fuller, bushier beard compared to that guy there. It's not as full. Obviously, people can shave on and off, of course. But me personally, I don't think it's the same individual, right? Dusty says, maybe. I would have to see a better picture. Nat says, Do you think this guy wearing a blue shirt is the same guy with Avery Combs wearing a pink red shirt? This guy seems quite short, or Carter Combs is tall. Height approximation, how tall is Jason M? Is Jason M the father of Jasmine Milan or something? What do we have here? Another one. Right, so another photo of Caleb on the right with once again a bit of a bushy beard. So people are suggesting, is this individual the same one from that supposed party footage? I don't think so. I think it's two separate individuals. And as for the guy in the blue shirt, the cowboy guy, who seems to be on the back of Avery Combs, but also Carter Combs, two separate occasions because they're wearing two separate pieces of clothing, different individuals, they look different as well. Okay? So I think Carter and Avery both were ridden. Is that what you call it? So the guy got on top of her, well, both, and rode them. Okay? I think that's how you say it. Yeah, first of there. Looks like front teeth a little crooked. It's not Caleb. I'm not sure who it is, but not Caleb. I agree. Who is this? Picture isn't Caleb. Jason M. Who is Jason M? Terrell, Rural Volunteer Fire Department. Bub Wilcoxon, Jason D, and Jason M. So I'm guessing Bub Wilcoxon is on the far left, and then Jason D and Jason M. It would be easier to just go the full name, to be honest. Be easier to keep up with. I can't really keep up with some of these names, right? You got that there. What's that got to do, though? That's not them. No, it isn't. Complexion looks similar. No. That one. No, different individuals. It's not anyone that has been spoken of in these groups. That's definitely not a young adult. That is a man. Well, to be honest, I mean, once you're 18, you're classified as a man or a young man or something. A man. Dusty, I didn't say it was a young adult. I think he is in his early 30s. So you could argue and say, well, that guy riding the individual, if he's in his 30s, what's he doing around 16, 17, 20-year-olds? What's the deal there? Meaning, as a party-grown man. There's another perspective, as you can see. He's on top of her, riding her like a bull. What's that? Definitely bounced off the gravel road at the end. I don't know what that means, unless that... Oh, probably him falling off or so. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Over sure. According to a TikTok, it was about a month before them. It was about a month before. Before what? The party? But some of the footage is from the party house. I can say that with a level of confidence. Interesting. This looks just like him. I'm back and forth between Caleb Newton and the sheriff Jeremiah Wilson. But yuck, he's so unattractive. He has to be in his late 30s. Doesn't look like him, hard to tell. I wish people would quit there we go. This is where Whitney Pollen comes in. I don't know who Whitney is. But she says, I wish people would quit putting this out there. Neither of the guys with Bub in this picture have anything to do with this. The one on the far right doesn't even live here anymore. Those two guys are the two best guys that would give you their shirt off. They're back now. Now, leave them both out of it. Dusty says, well, my understanding that JD was at work and not even there that day. Again, this guy doesn't live here or does have anything to do with this. Y'all are grasping now. That is Colin Martin. He doesn't even live close to here anymore. Joseph's best friend. Y'all need to remove these pics and leave them out of it. Interesting. So, how's Whitney linked to these individuals? Because she's standing up for him. Dusty, I don't know who he was, so I thought you were talking about the picture of JD, JM, and Bub. Whitney says, Colin and JM are kin to Stevie by marriage. Neither live here, and I can promise everyone with 100% certainty that none of them had anything to do with any of this. There's only one out of those pics that I don't know well enough to comment on. Definitely not Caleb Newton. Look at his smile. Go to the TT. What's the TT? TikTok, you mean? It's not his other son. Caleb Newton's in his 40s. He's going to have a son that old. Okay. I wouldn't say. Jason Duke is Bub's hand. He's known to do whatever Bub says. Jason Martin and his above photographed brother Colin Martin do not have clean hands. You know these men personally. Have you listened to the 911 call? Does it ring any bells for you? Huh? What's going on there? Even very blurry. Excellent side view. You can pause the video if you want at any point. Whitney, Pollen, yes, I do know all three of them personally. I can assure you they did not have anything to do with this, but you can believe what you want to. I just feel like some of this is like going on a witch hunt. Right. What do you mean by Bub's hand? He doesn't work for Bub at all. He's my cousin and lives across the street from me. I spend every day with him. You don't know what you're talking about. Ah, so this is why Whitney is standing up and defending him. Jasmine, Caleb Newton is only in his 40s. I thought he was much older than that. Looks old because he's an alcoholic. I wouldn't know personally. I've guessed late 50s or 60. I mean, if the person got rid of the beard, they could appear younger. Shannon, it's not even a bad picture. I'm surprised not one person can say who it is. Well, let's see if it's actually mentioned here. Caleb Newton? Not sure. It's not Caleb Newton. Not Caleb. Christy Howard. Who is Christy Howard? Related to any of the other Howards? Tim Howard? Who's the other one? Stevie Howard? Any links? Similar, same picture pops up as right now. There we go. This is supposedly the guy. Nat says Shannon Scott. I mean, yeah, looks similar. Full face, kind of ginger colour, facial hair, but not completely full like Caleb. Yeah, that person does look more likely the guy in that photo with Avery and Carter. So yeah, okay. Is the name provided, Val? Don't think so. No, the guy in the pic has better teeth. What? They're there. No, that guy doesn't look the same, different colour, facial hair. I mean, where are we getting all these photos of guys with beards? where people find these photos on Facebook? Searching for anyone that looks similar. Debbie, how do you say that name? Wiley or Willie? I don't know. Wiley, I think. I know who now. I know who now. What? They know who it is, just don't want to say. Do tell. Someone in the group said it was a family member, but it's not Caleb Newton. Not sure. Oh my god. The debacle this. Donna. Oh, Donna says, I had to apologise over that picture, but that's what adults do in the wrong. Some folks don't get that. What? What, inappropriate because it's riding someone? I told you yesterday it's not Caleb. The picture came from a video posted on a Snapchat long before the 4-day party. I don't know, because I'm not from there and I don't know any of those people. Okay. That is absolutely not Caleb Newton. I don't know who it is, but I'm 99% sure it's positive it's not him. Let's see. It isn't anyone local. I think I found who it is. I'm going to try and verify. Nat provides a photo there. Dusty says, looks like him. It does. Whitney, never seen this guy here. There's another photo of him. There's another photo. Ever been to the party house? Post a picture tonight here on this thread, sent to us anonymously. Now, I do not believe that this individual has anything to do with Noah Presgrove's murder. I want to be very clear. I do not think that the individual was even in the attendance that weekend. However, what it tells us is that there have been parties going on at the party house. That's why it's known as such a hog hunting parties and underage kids, men, alcohol, you name it. There is likely presence of adults at that party that weekend. Again, not stating that this Sammy dude was there the night, but he was there a few months prior. So this 3-day weekend to be totally unsupervised by adults is blatant lying. I hope they will all be super honoured and just testify to what really happened. Property. Right, okay. According to locals, So we actually said the actual name of the person. Okay, there's a photo, but is there a name of the individual? Oh, Sammy. Okay, Sammy Cooper Jr. This is a supposed individual. Okay. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that guy looks like the person in the footage riding Avery and Carter? Yes or no? I'd say so. Yeah. How relevant is it to the party then? We'll double down on that shortly if possible. Stephanie Bacon. Interesting name. Doesn't even look like Caleb. Well, we know by now. Right. There we go. Now, meet Sammy Cooper Jr. Want to know what family members of the girls were at the Dove Hunt, the ones most likely to help cover up some of the... Oh, God, why is it more previous? Why can't they just show it all in one go? Facebook is so dodgy. Shit. The layout on Facebook in general. Justin Roy says, wonder if he, Sammy, was at the Dove Hunt that nobody wanted to talk about. I want to know what family members of the girls were at the Dove Hunt. The ones most likely to help cover up something of this extreme would most likely be the ones directly related to the ones responsible. Nat says, what Dove Hunt? Question. Did hear about it, but gathering next door, did it end with a nice barbecue and some alcohol beverages around a bonfire? Don't know, because there's not a single picture nor video available about the event organised by the infamous Jeremy, Stevie Howard herself, and third person organising the event. Can't remember, but I'm sure to remember Avery Combs promoting it on a Facebook page. Yeah, true. There's no pictures of the event or party. Yeah, why? Why no coverage? Hiding it? Older adults. So nothing mentioned of it, but years past there had lots of things posted. Which adds to the secrecy of that weekend. I'm not accusing any organiser in the death of Noah. People need to understand that there is a big event, a Dove Hunt organised that weekend with lots of adults involved and weapons, and the proximity of the party house, and the organisers themselves are owners of the land, owners of the property, owners of social hosting that resulted in Noah's death. No arrest, no real investigation. Very odd. Usually people post pictures of all the birds they got. I guess doves, no hogs, were on premises that weekend. Okay, not really much else going on there. Post this picture, Fred. Yeah, we saw that already. It's been posted several times now. Should go ahead and say who he is. And you got Amy with a screenshot there from a thumbnail of one of my previous videos. Okay, Caleb. Yeah, so it looks to be Sammy Cooper Jr., but how relevant is Sammy Cooper Jr. to the case of the party? We don't know personally, but he was in that footage of Avery and Carter. And so the premises of where that footage took place, it could well be at the party based off some of the perspectives definitely being inside of the party house. And the cowboy riding scenario could have been just outside, round the back or the front, facing away from the building, the property of the house. So that's worth taking into consideration. I think if I can find the date of the video, that could help too. So after checking on TikTok at the profile of the video compilation, well, it was uploaded in 2023, which is a good sign, first of all. But then it says the 9th of the 2nd. Now, I think in the US, the dates are a bit dodgy because it tends to be flipped, reversed around the other way, and that can be confusing. But I don't know if TikTok takes that into consideration or not. So either this was uploaded, the video at least, the 9th month, which would be September, or the 2nd month, which would be February, right? On the basis that it was in September, it would have been uploaded on September the 2nd. September 2nd would have been on the... would it have been the Friday or Saturday? Sunday being the 3rd, Monday being the 4th. Saturday. Interesting. So this could have been uploaded at the party, from the party, on Saturday the 2nd of September. But if that wasn't the case and the date is flipped around and it was actually uploaded February, it doesn't quite link, does it? No, it doesn't. It would be old footage. But you can still say that, nevertheless, there is some footage relevant to the party house. But as for whether it's tying in line with the party itself or it happened months before, then I mean, you're just getting a different side, a different perspective of the area in general. All in all, I think what I will need to do is be careful with the title of this video. I'm probably going to include a question mark, and instead of calling it New Party Footage Found, I'll call it Old Party Footage Found, because it could be considered old. It might be filmed, some of it recorded in the location of where the actual party took place, the one with Noah attended, but this stuff, what we're seeing, could be old in the past before it. It all comes down to the date of that TikTok video, okay? That's the date of when the video was uploaded onto TikTok, not the actual date as to when those video clips were recorded, okay? So that's worth taking in mind. It could even be much older than you think. But nevertheless, if it simply shows a pattern and theme of a range of different guests and party goers coming and going, that's the type of people you could have got at the party which Noah attended at, right? So I think we saw some new interesting photos and some video footage you may have never seen before. Will any other relevant party footage at the time come out in the future? Who knows? There's some comments by people recently saying how, yeah, there is video footage of this and that, and some have seen it, but it's just a shame there's no screenshots, there's no archiving. But I guess if you weren't anticipating it at the time that it was going to disappear afterwards, you wouldn't be prepared. But at least when it comes to me nowadays with the past cases, you just got to be alert. You got to just be cautious, beware, because you never know, right, what could happen in the future. It could just disappear and go. So hopefully you found this video somewhat interesting. Share your thoughts down below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Goodbye, good night for now.